dude, here's the thing. We did the Burt Fully Loaded. We did it in Scranton at a baseball field, and Shane showed up to do shows, and he brought Tommy and O'Connor with him, and immediately they were in the outfield just fucking throwing.
Yeah.
And they both had guns, where I was like, God damn, you guys are...
They're athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, O'Connor, didn't he play D1 lacrosse?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did for Drexel.
D1 lacrosse.
O'Connor did?
Yeah, for
O'Connor.
Drexel.
That makes so much sense. His face looks perfect in a lacrosse helmet.
They're also the most jacked alcoholics I've ever met.
I can't stand
Cut
people that
from
are
granite.
Yeah, that they get drunk, like they're like John McClane alcoholics, where they wake up and they have good bodies.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
You're like, no, how are you not just?
I started drinking, dude. I've been in New York for like 7-8 months. In the first 6 months, I gained 25 pounds because I've drank more than I ever have in my entire life.
There is no such thing as alcoholism here.
No, there isn't.
Don't ever have to drive.
No, there's no. I'm not hitting. I'm not running into a school
part.
bus, whatever.
And
I mean,
it also goes until 4.
right.
So you
Everything's
just keep
up
going.
open till 4. There's public transit. I'm like drinking until the wee hours of the morning, like 3 days a week.
No, I've had
flashbacks.
Pretty great.
Dude, we got something for you.
Yeah,
too.
we just saw the post Yannis made.
We saw this.
The funniest post about this post is no one recognizes Nate Bargatze.
Dude, that's
No.
what Ian said.
Ian said.
It's crazy seeing Nate look like that.
Ian goes, "Who's that big doughy guy?" We're like, "That's Nate Bargatze." He's like, "What?"
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was one of the most fun nights I've ever had in my life.
This is all from one night.
Oh, that's one night.
That was a thing. They used to have a podcast. This is like over probably like 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
They had Yannis, Nate, and Chris Laker had a podcast.
Yeah.
And, Nate was doing all right. Yannis was doing all right. We were all like, barely getting by. But
Yeah.
Chris Laker, who's super hilarious, kept getting disrespected.
Yeah.
And then they started throwing these. Some fucking company was like, we're going to have New York Comedy Awards. We're going to do like awards for like, and it was all like the people you would think it was. Hey, Pete Holmes, Hannibal Buress, like all the famous people
Yeah.
were cleaning house. Giannis had one of my favorite lines of all time. Giannis goes, you want to talk about alternative comedy? The most alternative comic in New York City is Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't believe in evolution. And he's killing in New York.
Wait, does he actually not believe in evolution?
It's still yet to be determined. But
Well,
it was
those
like
Patrice stories.
I could see
about
him be
it.
like,
oh,
I
Patrice,
don't know.
yeah, Jay's barbecue where he told Jay, Jay was like, can I invite Nate? He thinks you're mad at him. And he's like, why would I be mad at Nate? Bring him. He doesn't believe in dinosaurs. That's the kind of people I want at my barbecue. He's like, I don't want everyone that agrees with me. So Nate, Giannis, and Chris had this podcast. And they were like, okay, these award ceremonies are ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're going to have our own award ceremony. We're going to call it the Chris Laker Awards. And Chris Laker is sober, but he used to have a real bad drinking problem. And he smoked. So they handed out the awards were silver lighters.
Yeah.
And then they did these shots of what he used to drink,
Yeah.
which was, I think, like vodka and orange soda, like mixed because he'd do it in the morning.
Oh,
It was
God.
fucking wild.
It's dark.
And Giannis growing up in Brooklyn, he grew up with all these like interesting people. The woman that did the voiceover announcements for the MTV Movie Awards was his friend. So she came and sat in the back and did the announcements for all the awards at this tiny ass bar in Park Slope called Bar 4 that's gone now.
Yeah.
But that's where Giannis used to have his Sunday show. Dude, they had a red carpet. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Joe List and I were living in Astoria. We were both still drinking. We went to Gilby's on Broadway.
Gilby's is a dump.
Yeah, we've talked about
I've been to Gilby's a lot.
And Joe and I both thought it would be very funny to wear dress shirts tucked into jeans with ties. we look like fucking middle school teachers. You can kind of see it. My shirt's undone at that point because I'm blackout in that video. But you could see
Nate's kind of rocking that too.
Joe and I are in the dude. Look at Joe. And so we drank at Gilby's and then took like the 90. We had tall boys and we took the 90-minute train ride to Park Slope from Astoria.
Yeah.
And then had a blast. I won the award for most likely to die in the next year.
Why?
Me and Henry Zabrowski both tied because we were drinking a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really was getting after it. And to the point that Giannis was nervous. And so they gave me that award.
Oh.
But, dude, they gave, like, Ted Alexandro. Dude, Ted Alexandro gave this speech that it was one of those, like, I can't believe I'm here for this moment.
Yeah.
He gave, a sincere speech without being corny about why New York comedy is better than LA.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, we're in this shitty city. We're not making a lot of money, but we love doing comedy. And it was like this incredible speech. And at the end, there was a fuck LA chant that got the cops called on them. Like they showed up at the bar and they're like, the neighbors are complaining because you guys are screaming fuck LA. Everyone was like, fuck LA, fuck LA. And we were all blacked out.
Yeah.
Dude, I've told this story on many a podcast so people can get mad at me. But Joe List thought he was going to kill by revealing he had herpes. And he said it. He won an award and he goes, and I got herpes. Whoa! And everyone went silent. And he just went like, and then I was outside smoking and I think it was like Nate got on Joe's shoulders and Joe went to pick him up and I was outside smoking and I watched him go up and then I watched him just fall back. And they got up and Nate's like, I think I'm hurt. Yeah, dude, it was wild. That was like one of the most fun nights of my life.
Yeah,
Do you miss drinking?
For that.
Yeah.
Not for the day after where I wanted to blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah.
Is that why you stopped? Is it
Yeah.
hangovers?
Was the hangovers were like
They
depressing?
start getting dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older. You get in your like 30s. You start to hit your 30s and you're like, oh, these are some dark thoughts. I'm impressed with anybody over the age of 40 that can still go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you either don't get hangovers or your voices in your head are nicer to you than
Yeah,
they
I
are to-
don't understand it. I mean, I'm 27, I drink, and I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm such a loser.
I mean, I quit when I was 30,
yeah.
or right before I was 30, when I was 29, because I
Yeah.
was just like, dude, it's getting sad.
It's
But
getting dark.
there are times I really miss it. There's people I've wanted to drink with that I've never got to. There's cities I've wanted to go to and drink that I've never got to go to, like New Orleans. I never got to drink.
You never
Oh,
drank in New
that's the
Orleans?
best.
Madison, Wisconsin. I really
sounds
want to
awesome.
drink. You know, you
Yeah.
go do comedy on state, and you're like, oh, this is a place you could fucking rip it down.
That'd be awesome.
There's people I've never got to get drunk with. Shane and Bert. I'd want to get drunk with Bert.
Yeah.
There were like a couple people that I'm like, dude, I would want to get fucked up with you.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
sick.
But you know, I'm just a pothead now.
Yeah.
And even that you start to get in your 40s and you're like, I don't know if I should be wake and baking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you never get anxious from pot?
all the time.
Oh.
Every fucking day. And almost what's crazy is my brain is like, I forget names and shit, obviously, but what I
Yeah.
forget is also what the drug does to me. Because in my head when I'm
It's like
sober, I'm like,
amnesia.
let me chill out and smoke a joint.
Yeah.
And then I smoke a joint and I'm just staring at my feet and I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's all right. So what, dude? You'll fucking sell out the
Yeah.
Neptune Theater in Seattle.